Hi everybody, this is Ari Ballard. Welcome back to my channel. My last rant was about narcissism in government and got a little bit of a good response to that. More people are awake than I thought. I love that. Today I'm going to talk about the powerful political narc versus your personal narc and how you'll see there's not a whole lot of difference between the two and the way we behave towards each one and what we allow from our government, our politicians, and from our personal narc. We behave exactly the same. You gotta stop doing that. I'll tell you how to do that. Do that in a minute. Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. Make sure you subscribe and like and share and give me a thumbs up if you like the video. So let's just get right into it. What's the difference between the powerful political narc and your personal narc? Nothing. Not a thing. In my last video, I wanted you to know that narcs rule the planet. Okay, I want you to be aware of that. And a couple of the commenters said something interesting to me, that not a whole lot of the people that do narc commentaries even talk about that. Why is that? And I'll tell you why. Because they don't make the association. Okay? We don't, like I said in my last video, we don't look beyond our personal space and the narc that's in it. Even though narcs are everywhere. They rule the world. They rule in every government. Everybody, Democrat, Republican, remember, I don't really believe that it's a one-party system, but they're all narcs. You have to be a narc to get in there, to be in any level of authority. The way we behave, or the rules that we are subjected to by narcs in government. And again, I'll use this COVID-19 tactic, strategy, fear-mongering, fake narrative that they're using right now to take down America, to bring us to our knees, to keep us under control and isolated and quarantined and whatever else they're going to do. And there's more stuff coming. Oh, this isn't even the end of it. They've reopened the country, sure. But that's just to throw us a bone because we were kind of like biting at the bit and getting a little antsy. That's all that is, okay? And it's still done weirdly. For example, everything's reopened, but with all rules and regulations and all different things in place. A new normal. I hate that phrase. A new normal. We didn't ask for a new normal. I don't know about you guys, but I was fine with the fucking normal that I had. Okay, I didn't want a new normal. But here it is. For example, the pool at my apartment complex has now reopened. Okay, but without chairs on which to sit. Isn't that nice? Okay, because evidently when you sit in a chair, the virus does amazing things. I'm not sure what it does. I'm not sure the science behind it. I doubt there is any. But they don't want you sitting in no chairs. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Why bother? Why are we allowing that? In my apartment, we pay pretty big bucks to live here, and we're going to allow for that? And they act like they're doing us a favor. Ooh, the pool's reopening. Time to get in the water. Maybe. But you can't sit. It's the same thing as you can swim in the water at the beach, but you can't sunbathe. It's kind of the same thing. You can go swimming, but you can't sit out in the sun. Okay? And it's oppressive. Okay? And it goes against everything that we know. You go back to work. You're going to go back with all kinds of regulations, things you can't do. You got to wear a mask. You got to wear gloves. You can't do this. You can't do that. This social distancing is really the core of this COVID-19 thing. It's the core of it. They want to remove and get us used to no human interaction. It's a way to keep us separated. And what do we do with all these oppressive rules and regulations? Nothing. Just like the narc in our personal space gets to do whatever he or she wants to, and we basically say nothing. They manage down our expectations so that we expect nothing, and that's exactly what we get. And what happens when we buck the system? Or if we stand up, we get punished. Okay, we get censored. We get trained to say nothing. Okay, we get in trouble, which is exactly what happens with the government. You dare not be don't dissent. Okay, or you're going to pay a fine. Okay, you'll get your license taken away. You'll get this privilege taken away. Narcs, as a rule, they like to create an air of superiority. They're very passive-aggressive. And that's what oh my God, this whole COVID-19 thing is very passive-aggressive. They'll stand up there and they'll just, they act like they're doing us a favor by allowing us to reopen our businesses when it's our constitutional right to go fucking work for a living. Okay, we don't even have to ask that. Okay, but they have snitches in place. Okay, snitches get rewards, says Governor Newsom. There's hotlines to call if you see your neighbor out of place. Again, the Stasi in America. More oppression. So this instills fear. It keeps us feeling oppressed. People, as a rule, whether you're in the public arena or you're in your own personal space, we don't like confrontation. We just want to live our lives. We just want to go about our business. We want peace. We want happiness. And we have a right to that, by the way. Okay, we have a right to happiness, to pursue it. Okay, but narcs don't like that because a happy person cannot be controlled. A person who is fearful can be controlled. So as long as governments keep their populations in fear, whether it's by staging mass shootings, which I don't buy into any of them, okay? And did you notice? Where are all the mass shootings? Well, there's no mass shootings right now because our government's a little too busy with this massive COVID-19 narrative to stage any mass shootings. That's the only reason there aren't any. Otherwise, we'd be having one every other month like we've been having for the last 8 years. So by doing that, by staging mass shootings and pandemics and showing us only the bad things on the news, it keeps the people in fear. Just like a narc. A narc wants to, what do I always say? Keep you in a heightened state of anxiety 24/7. Everything they do all day, every day, is about what they can get away with. That's it. They will lie to you, even when the truth is a better story. For personal narcs, I always say that narcs, it's pretty much a given that narcs aren't attracted to other narcs unless they have a common goal in mind, and usually it's money. Okay, some people will tell me both my parents were narcs. That's rare, but those parents were usually pretty wealthy, so that it's like a business agreement or a business arrangement. Okay, world governments work the same way. That's why they're all working so well together with this COVID-19, because there's so much money to be made. Plus, there is the end result, which would be, a new world order. They're not even hiding it anymore. They have been given full reign. They're not worried. Why? Because likely our rights have been suspended. The Constitution, to them, the Constitution is so old, they just let us think that we actually have rights. And one day, something big is going to go down and we're going to realize we don't have any rights at all. At all. The Patriot Act, the National Defense Authorization Act, which was put into place right after 9/11. That's why 9/11 happened, by the way. It was to put in the Patriot Act, to get people to go for it under the guise of security, and the NDAA, the National Defense Authorization Act, and to put in things like, invasive tactics like TSA and all kinds of weird surveillance, so they can grope us at airports and take our shoes off, make us feel vulnerable, which Trump hasn't, if he was a real guy for the people, the first thing he would have done when he came in is eradicate the Patriot Act, the NDAA, and the Real ID. Okay? The Real ID you will not be able to travel without it. You won't. And it's mandatory. It's basically like huello papers. Okay, back to Germany. Just like the Stasi, just like all that. History is repeating itself. History is repeating itself. Why would we need a real ID? Our licenses are fine. So the day that goes into place, that we can no longer go to an airport unless we have the real ID, which has the facial recognition, all that crap on it. Okay, what makes that day any different than the day before when we were able to do it on our license? And why? Under the guise of security, we haven't had a terrorist attack since 9/11. Why do you think that is? Because we've been busy. Too busy to stage another attack as big as that one. Once you open your eyes and you use critical thinking, you'll see how it all fits. It all fits into place. The bottom line is that people really are good. All we want to do is just go about our business. We just want to live our lives with our families, make money if we can make money, create things if we can create things, use the capitalist society, the way it should be used, where we can create wealth if we have a good idea and use it to compete in an open free market. That's all we want to do. We want to be able to travel freely from point A to point B without being bothered. We want to be able to say what we want, freedom of speech. We would like a press that is the watchdog of the people instead of the gatekeeper for the government. It's all a game, a political game with a bunch of political hacks. Who are those people? They could be just actors, which I tend to think most of them are. Actors. I think much of what we see and hear on TV and on the news and out of the mouths of our politicians are scripted words, scripts. Yeah, all the world is a stage and we are merely players. Shakespeare now. So how we behave the same way. We allow our government to do to us, and the government and its laws to do to us the same thing that the narc in our personal space does to us. Okay? They can basically sneak around behind our back, and we may fuss a little bit, but they create just enough plausible deniability, make it look like they're not really doing the wrong thing. So we let it go, because we'd rather let it go than create a big ordeal. We'll just wait to the next round, and then things get worse and worse and worse. If we do buck the system or stand up to it, what happens? We get punished. We either get the silent treatment from the personal narc, or we get a big old fine, or we go to jail, or we get arrested, or whatever on this side. So we know, what we can and can't do, that we are surrounded by narcs. We behave in the same obedient, complicit manner to political powerful narcs that we do with our personal narc. The way you behave in your personal space with your personal narc is exactly the way people as a whole behave to the narcs that rule the planet. That's why they get away with what they do. That's why they can make the laws that they make. That's why our freedoms are being eradicated over a flu. But we have to fucking stand up, not only to the narc in the personal space, but to the laws and regulations. Honestly, I have a son that I have to take care of. Okay, he's an adult, but he has disabilities, and I need to take care of him. But if he wasn't in my life, I'd be willing to go to prison for rallying against a cause. I got no problem with that. None. I like calling people out. Don't be afraid to do that. If something doesn't seem right to you and you have an opportunity to call somebody out, whether it's your narc in your personal space or somebody higher up, do it. Okay? And do it in the right way. Okay? And I have other videos that say how to deal with a narc. Be confident in the truth that you know. Stop explaining, because they know what they've done. They know what they're doing. And just say a few words. No, it's not like that. You can ask a question, they'll answer and go, I don't think so. I don't think that's the way it goes. And let them jump up and down. What do you mean by that? Say, no, I don't think so. Be confident in the truth that you know. Start paying attention to not necessarily the news, but pay attention to, when you go out, what kind of rules and regulations that are unnecessary are being put in your place, are being in front of you with stickers and things and this and that and masks and gloves and for what? For nothing. For nothing. Are your neighbors dropping like flies? Nope. And they won't. Not this year, not next year. But it's a new normal. What right did they have to bring us a new normal? Who did that? They did it. We didn't ask for a new normal. We were happy with the normal that we had. Suddenly, just like that, commercials, right after they made the announcement that we're all going to die, okay, the fraudulent announcement, all of a sudden it was the new normal commercials popped up, doing dances about the new normal. This is going to, I didn't ask for a fucking new normal. And neither did you. There are ways to get people's attention. Ask questions. Do not be afraid. You have a right to ask questions. Even with your personal narc. Don't be afraid that he's going to walk out, that he's going to leave. Ask the question. Because you have a right to know. If it doesn't feel right inside, it's because it's not right. That's why we have intuition. It tells us everything. Anyway, I guess that was rant number 2. So make sure if you like the video, share it, subscribe, give it a thumbs up. This is Ari Ballard. This is the When Love is Alive video blog podcast. A little bit of a rant. I guess I'm going to go on about this for a while. So make sure you come back. I will see you next time. Bye.